getting real. Like, let me just give you a little breakdown on what's going on with Trisha. Oh my god, hold on. Hold the fuck on. Let me give you a little breakdown on what's going on with Trisha right now. So, okay, the latest developments are Mysterious, a channel on YouTube. She made a video on Trisha, unpacking all her lies, going through her whole fucking, like, YouTube career, deconstructing, analyzing, just dunking on all the fucking contradictions she's made, whatever. That's part, so that's getting to Trisha. Part of that was, a narrative that Trisha was lying about being molested by her teacher, Mr. Riney, because on Frenemies, she talked about it, and then she said, look him up, Byron, Illinois, on Google. So when you do that, Mr. Riney, Byron, Illinois, I already looked that up. So the first thing you got before all this shit happened, and now it gets the search algorithm, or someone, now it's his obituary, because this man died. But before that, it was this article, middle school teacher pleads guilty to child porn charges, which is what she said about this man. But it's actually, this article has nothing to do with that teacher. Wait, John, okay, so, yeah, this is about a man named John Byron, who, in Richmond, Virginia, got charged with child porn charges, and he's a middle school teacher. She tried to assign that narrative to this man named Charlie Riney, and so now everyone's saying that she's lying and that she made that up. Now, look, what I'm going to say about that is, because I've been thinking about that, and, like, here's the thing, because she made, her responses have been really just like, this is none of your business, like, do not talk, like, I'm never telling the internet anything again about my trauma, this is what's happening. You know, people are telling her to apologize to his family, they're, you know, saying that his family should sue her. Let me just say this, okay? I feel very inappropriate about, you know, commenting on whether this man did or didn't molest her. Was she lying about him getting charged with child pornography charges? She might have been. And honestly, maybe she said that because she thought that, I don't know, that was for sure slandering him and making stuff up. But, like, who the fuck knows if she was touched by this man? And it's not, you know, you don't forget the name of the teacher who molested you and traumatized you. So that whole, like, narrative of, like, oh, maybe she got the dudes mixed up. It's like, no. Maybe this really happened. Maybe it happened with this man. You know, he died, so maybe she felt more comfortable saying it because he's dead and can't, you know. It's like if he really abused her and now he's gone, it's kind of a relief, right? I don't know the person. I don't want to slander him. I don't know how fucked up Trisha is to the extent that, like, because why would she tear this man down? You know what I mean? Like, why out of all, like, did he reject her and she was in love with him? I don't know. Like, you don't just make something up about a specific person who's dead, and to that extent, something so fucked up as, like, molesting a kid. So if she really is that fucked up, like, whether it happened or whether she's lying about it, regardless, she needs, like, serious therapy to unpack that, and it's not the internet's, like, role to be the, you know, gatekeepers of her happiness in that sense. Like, I think it's just really fucked up if she was molested by this man, and now everyone's telling her that, you know, she's a bad person because she's dragging his name, and it's like, well, you know, we weren't there, we don't know him, like, a lot of people are like, oh, he was a great person, and they have no idea who this person was. Like, they're just, it's, you know what I mean? And also there's, like, an argument that's like, oh, he was a beloved teacher. Like, he was a beloved community public figure. It's like, do you know how many fucking rapists, child molesters, like, look at the fucking church. Look at, and it's like, actually, that's like the dumbest, like, argument to make. To be like, oh, like, kids loved him. Oh, he was, like, such a, like, you know how many fucking people who do horrible things, if anything, like, overcompensate with altruism and philanthropy because it's like, oh, it'll be even less believable that someone who does this would do something so heinous like, you know, rape, kill, molest kids. It's like, that is the dumbest argument. Like, he can't be a child molester. Like, he donated to charity. Like, have you not read? Like, have you not seen movies? Like, have you not watched Netflix documentaries? Like, I thought society would be a little more, like, smart. I don't know what the word is. But anyways, like, if she's lying, she's a terrible person. She lies out a lot of things, so obviously it's not hard to believe that people would not believe her. But also, guys, we're adults here talking about the potential of a child having been molested. Even if that child turned into Trisha Paytas, Beluga Will Paytas, I mean, like, still, dude, like, it's a kid. Like, why are we retroactively, is that the word? Like, could we not, like, let that be what it is? She doesn't owe anyone to make a statement on the potential of her, like, that's fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, no wonder. Like, I would also be pissed if I were her. Like, you guys don't know me, and you're asking me to, like, apologize to a man that, like, I said, like, molested me when I was a kid? Come on. I don't know. I think it's like, yeah, she dished it out, but, like, we're not her therapist, and this is really very personal info. But anyways, so that was that. And now the thing with Moses. Fucking Moses, dude. There are a bunch of texts that are coming to the surface from his exes. It's 2 exes, this fucking guy. I really don't like his face, by the way. Like, I don't understand how this guy has all these bitch... Like, I mean, I guess he looks kind of hot there, but, like, that's... He doesn't look like that. He's not my type, honestly. I think that's just what it is. Like, I can't understand the appeal because, like, you know, it's just not my type. But I mean, this is who is making you, like, any girl who has been played by this man. Like, he looks like a petrified owl. He looks like, you know, like, let me get the pictures of him without a beard. Shaved face. Could I get the picture where he looks like an actual vagina? It's not on the internet because, you know, he probably wouldn't want that out there. But his shaved face looks like a vagina. I mean, does he not look like Rasputin? Let me just hold the fuck up right now. Did you guys see Anastasia? I bet Trisha's watched Anastasia with Moses. She, like, forces him to watch, like, all these, like, he's playing her. Because who the fuck else would put up with that shit? Does this not look like Moses? Hold on. I'm really bad with this. Like, I'm sorry, but... Like, like, someone meme that, because that's just shit. He just looks like a super villain. Like, he looks like a Disney cartoon villain. And I just don't like him or his face. I just don't, you know, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm Jewish, so, like, I'm thrown off by, like, people who look like they could be my family. I don't know. But anyways, his exes came out against him, you know, saying that he's a creep, you know, exposing texts that they exchanged before he got serious with Trisha. And the texts were really incriminating. Like, it wasn't even about, like, oh, he's a douchebag. Like, the texts were straight up saying that he's going to use her, that he wants to get her pregnant to get child support. Could I find the fucking text messages? Honestly, it's none of our business, but, like, these texts are being exposed. And so, obviously, like, look, Trisha, honey, you've made your whole life public. And you have exposed people, you know? And I think she's regretting that now, for sure. But, like, only because she's going through it. Not because she actually, like, she's a narcissist. She's not able to look outside herself. It's just, it's a mental illness. Like, it truly is, like, it's like, I honestly see her narcissism as she's in a room and it's like the door is locked and the key is like right there, but she is blinded with tunnel vision, so she can't see the key because like it's like her way of thinking doesn't let her to unlock the reality that is life and ego death. It's a real mental illness. It's more than just like, you know, she needs to fucking realize she's a narcissist. And like, I think she has noticed those, like with her BPD, I think she's like really tried to like at least fake it sometimes with like caring about other people. Because it's like, it's just in her to not be able to care about anything but herself. It's just like, some people, you know, I think everyone has that, like, to an extent, but, like, some people are more empathetic than others. Some people are more, like, are empaths, like, the complete opposite. And, her reward comes from being the center of attention at all times, at all costs, and at the narrative she chooses. So, yeah, this is some text, and there's just a lot of text, and it was, like, different girls, and I don't know. I'm really actually not even gonna go through them because you can find them and they're like on Reddit and it's been covered by a bunch of people. But like he was telling these girls like, you know, all this shady shit, talking shit about her, whatever. Like that's neither here nor there because it's like, of course, that makes him a disgusting human being and people don't just change. People don't just like go from having like no boundaries at 42 and no morals. Like you're not a 42-year-old man who's able to talk to his like 23-year-old conquests about someone that you're planning on using and then actually use them and then get mad at the girls for being like, what the fuck? Like he's a manipulative piece of shit. Like, there's so many fuckboys who are geriatric like him, who have long hair like him, who look like Rasputin like him, but they're not famous. They're losers, so no one cares about what they do. Moses is now, like, Trisha's boyfriend, and, like, come on. It's her fucking, like, I'm sorry, but with how Trisha is and has been, and her behaviors, like, it, you know, and he's almost, like, proud of being able to handle her. Like, one of the texts that he had with, like, I believe Catnips from Reddit, was him kind of being low-key proud that he's not scared of her. He was, like, flexing that she, like, wanted to drive to his house naked on meth, that he wasn't scared to take her on. Like, some David Goliath shit. Like, bro, why are you flexing that you want to have a relationship with a mentally ill woman? And I'm mentally ill. When I say mentally ill woman, I mean someone who's, like, having an actual mental breakdown, and instead of being like, oh, she needs help, it's like, oh, let me, like, insert myself into her narrative and be, like, the savior and be, like, the guy who could take her on. And it's like, I don't know, he has some weird fucked up agenda. So anyways, these girls have also said that, both these girls said that he stealthed them, which is when you take off your condom during sex without their consent. Usually it's done in secret. I don't really know how that works. I think I don't know how that would work. To be honest, I'm really bad with sex. Like, sometimes I don't know the difference between a vagina and a butthole. Like, truly, it's just all one big blob to me. So I feel like I would know if someone took off their condom, but, like, I don't know. That is a real thing. Like, people stealth all the time. Gross men. Or sometimes they'll take off the condom and, like, they'll do it, and then the girl will be like, did you take off your condom? And he'll be like, it's okay. Or, like, don't worry, like, just, like, try to make it okay, because he already did it, and it's, like, when you're having sex, you're kind of, like, in the moment. Especially when it's consensual sex. Not selfing. Selfing is not consensual, but if you started consensually, and you're, like, in the moment, and you're, like, hot and heavy, and then the fucking dude's, like, let me do something that I want, that's selfish, and, like, something that you would otherwise not consent to, I'm going to do it in the middle of sex when you're already, like, in it and where it's already happened. So I can just be like, oh, I already took the condom off. Like, I don't know. And the fact that he was doing it with, like, girls that were super into him, it's like he probably knew that they were going to, like, be okay with it. Or, like, tell him it was okay because they don't want to, like, piss him off or, like, hurt him or, like, lose him in any capacity. I don't know. That is a fucked up claim to make, and it's a fucked up thing to do. So So now everyone's just like coming for Moses, they're coming for Trisha, everyone's just like fucking annoyed, disgusted with them. And like, here's the thing, Trisha, none of this would have been happening, like none of this would have been uncovered and exposed if you didn't act like such a fucking pompous asshole on the internet. That's the problem. It's like, do you want to look back at your own videos and see the trajectory of why this is happening? Like, if you are stinky, if you're being a stinky piece of shit, people are going to try to find the root of that smell. They're going to be like, oh, that's shit. Where's that shit smell coming from? Let me look. And people are finding out the shittiness in you. And when people don't like someone, they want to see them, like, apologize or feel bad. Like, maybe that's sadistic on our ends. You know, when someone's hurt, they try to hurt back because of that. Is it immature? Yes. But you are also a public figure. And you have chosen to play that role for a lot of us who are taking out our aggression on you instead of the people in our lives who you remind us of. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's where it comes down to. Like, now you're crying. Now you're crying and you're going to have 28 freakouts on your TikTok. And like, I know it's real. I know you're in your feels right now. I mean, look at this fucking thumbnail. Like, she is not looking good. She's not looking like this is a methodical, like, she looks like I'm sorry, Trisha, is what I have to say. But also, you cry so much about so many things all the time that now if you're even being sincere, it just sounds and seems like the 1,028 other times you've done this. You know what I mean? Like, I could tell it's serious now. It's way more serious probably. Like, just objectively, it's more serious. And she's really, I think, having, like, an emotional moment. But, like, Trisha, you done this. You did this. And, like, you are so in your right to ignore us. But, like, we're not going to stop thinking you're a piece of shit. And it's like, if you just want to stop posting, and if you want to just, like, fade into obscurity with your, like, fucking pariah of a fiance, whatever. But it's like, you cannot be a certain way and then try. It's almost like, you know what it's like? It's like when someone, like, I don't want to, trigger warning, going to talk about eating disorder shit. But it's like, look, it's like when people who are really fat cry about being fat, but they don't want to even try to, like, lose weight. And that's if you want to be fat, if you want to be skinny, whatever you are. I'm just saying your actions, it's like you eating, like, a fucking mukbang size meal of KFC and then hoping to wake up the next day and have lost 10 pounds. Like, it's just not realistic and it's not going to happen. Like, you cannot keep being a shitty person and then expect people to be like, we love you. I mean, there will be people who resonate with how fucked up you are, but, like, just scientifically, socially, psychologically, you cannot do things and then expect a reaction that is not conducive to those, like, actions. Like, it's like, oh, I expect to jump into a pool full of water and be completely dry. Like, you are trying to defy reality, and that's the problem, Trisha. Like, you have distorted your reality so much to the extent that, I'm sorry, like, it's just at this point, most of us can't, we can't, it's just not real. It's just a lie. And most of us just aren't going to be a part of your lie because what do we get out of that? Like, truly. Like, what do you get out of denying that your boyfriend is a cheating scumbag gold digger? What could you do? You could lie to yourself so you don't have a spiral mental breakdown and be like, oh, I'm alone. Like, the person that I thought loved me this whole time doesn't love me. He might love you. It's none of our business. I'm just saying, it's like, you know, we're seeing things that maybe we shouldn't have seen, maybe things you shouldn't have seen, but it's like the truth hurts. And that's the problem. It's like she's finding out the truth in a very public, messed up way, and it's like, you know, it's time to go to your DBT classes. It's time to stop crying for TikTok and hoping that we're not going to think that this is, like, pathetic. And time to truly work on yourself and be like, holy shit, I fucked up astronomically. And I don't know if I could salvage my image. Maybe this isn't about my image. Maybe I should, like, humble myself and work on my life, you know? Anyways, this is her video.
I'm fucking shaking. I don't want to monetize this. I'm acting like everything's okay. But there are just so much wrong going on right now. They're doing, not only they're not just up, but they don't know.
I'm gonna say, she said there's so much, okay, whatever. She said there's so much wrong going on. She can't, her grammar all messed up. That's how fucked up she is. She is messing up her grammar like crazy.
No sympathy, no remorse. This is not random people. This is people they know. I'm just begging. If someone asked me to stop talking about them, I would stop fucking talking about them. Never once has even anyone reached out to me about any of this. They never once asked me to stop, and now I'm just pleading. And their response is, you don't get to tell us what to do.
Bruh.
I'm shaking.
Oh my gosh, okay. Are these real, by the way? That's the thing, too, with her. It's like, I think they are real tears, but also, like, I just think it's so weird when you're, like, having a mental breakdown and your first thought is to, like, pull out your phone to record yourself having a mental breakdown. I guess that's what happens when you're a YouTuber. But it's, like, really, what is, like, like, do you, like, cry and then stop crying, get your phone? Because it's, like, your tears run out, you know what I mean? Like, I think there's maybe, like, a good 20 seconds of real, like, waterworks before it becomes just, like, the, you know, like, the lip quivering for anyone. Like, it's, like, I could be crying for, like, 20 whole minutes, but, like, maybe tears will come out for, like, the first 10 seconds. And the rest is me just feeling sorry for myself. You know what I mean? So, like, when it comes to, like, filming yourself having a mental breakdown, like, I've done it before, so I'm not going to hate, but it's just kind of, like, weird.
Having an actual breakdown.
An actual breakdown?
My past. How people are accusing me of lying. They don't believe Moses. They believe all victims except for fucking Trisha. No, I'm a fucking liar and I'm demanded to make a statement.
A state?
Just letting everything go. I conceded. I'm so conceited. I'm sorry.
I conceded?
I'm done. I'm so fucking done. It doesn't help me anything. It's that I'm fucking done.
You're done.
I will never fucking say shit about anyone. This is life ruining. You are ruining people's lives. Moses' work is getting things like he's a fucking rapist.
Oh my god, that's so funny. So, we're ruining her life because her fiance's gross. Like, no, I mean, did we ruin your life, or is he just a shitty person, and, like, when you hurt a lot of people and you start being publicly obnoxious, so, like, his exes didn't even, like, they shut up, they were letting her, but it's like, as soon as she started being, like, annoying as fuck, the most obnoxious person you can be on the internet, they're like, you know what, fuck these people. Like, she is about to marry a fucking, like, let me just, I probably would have done it from the beginning, to be honest, if I would be petty. Moses hurt these girls, and one of them was, like, 22, and, like, obviously mentally unwell. So it's like, I get Trisha's obviously, like, she's not the bigger person, that's the problem. It's like, I'm done thinking, and I'm done, like, even, she's not, like, she's never the bigger person, she's not gonna be the bigger person, she's a petulant, immature crybaby in the most, like, trivial, like, in the most reduced way to describe her. It's like, why? It's like, she's just as mentally ill as these people. Moses has a thing for women who get attached and obsessed with him, who, you know, believe his bullshit, because he lies to them too, and he leads them on, and these girls are, like, vulnerable, and, like, one of them's 23, so it's like, what the fuck do you expect from her? Like, what a fucking manipulative old geriatric gross scumbag. And she's like, oh, Moses is first of all, what work? Does he work, Trisha? Because for the last year and a half, he has been with you in all your daily uploads. Like, I don't know. Maybe he does work. Like, he's losing the 2 clients that were giving him pity work. I'm not saying that he's not talented. I'm not saying, I don't know his job. I'm not going to shade his job. But, like, he's losing work. Trisha, honey, you are such a fucking hypocrite. Like, stop. Like, stop. Could you just remember, like, does she have amnesia? Does she, like, not realize what her fucking career has been for the last, like, however fucking long? She has been, you know, trying to ruin people's reputations, careers, lives, because of her personal vendetta against them, and none of them actually, like, David Dobrik filmed a girl getting blackout drunk and getting raped by his friend, which is very fucked up. Moses has been accused of stealthing girls, which I think is just as fucked up. Because in both these scenarios, it wasn't like a clear cut, like, oh, you know, he punched them and, like, they knocked out, or they roofied these girls. Like, these were all, like, nuanced rape scenarios. And there are 2 ex-girlfriends of Moses saying that he stealthed them. That is his own actions. Like, Trisha doesn't know if he did or didn't. You know what I mean? And she's definitely a ride or die. She would visit Moses in jail for sure. She'd try to suck his dick in jail. Like, she's a scumbag. And it's just hilarious that she's, like, crying, she's like, I won't talk about anyone ever again. It's like, because you have no one to talk about, you daft fucking bitch. You won't talk about anyone. There's no one you could come out. There's no one you could come for, because it's like all the people who have been exposed for being terrible people have already been exposed. And everyone else is just, like, a normal human being. Like, honestly. Like, I'm not, okay, like, like, stop. Stop. Stop the cap. Alright, let's look at this one.
I said I would give back every penny I made on frenemies, and I mean it. I would write a check.
Oh my god, she's so ugly. She's still talking about frenemies. She thinks that this is H3's, like, dude, H3, they're so boring now because of how uninvolved they are. Like, their fucking brother is, you know, getting called a rapist. You know, Trisha is having a mental breakdown and blaming it all on them and their fans. And, like, H3 is just like, yo, let's just, like, make these, like, subpar podcasts, not talk about Trisha unless it's, like, to meme her for, like, 2 seconds. You know, it's like H3 left you behind. They don't care about you. Their fans also don't care about you. Everyone who is left that hates you was your fan first. Like, because everyone else is indifferent. Like, truly, there is nothing about you, Trisha, that would make someone, like, have, like, a vendetta against you for no reason. Like, no one's gonna have a vendetta against you for no reason. You're not someone with a lot of, like, social market value, if that makes sense. Like, you have become essentially a meme. You have been a meme. Frenemies was your potential redemption that made you more than a meme, that made you seem like somebody with something to say, someone with comedic relief and some sass and some moral values, but you are a liar. And most people who've been watching you already knew that about you, and a lot of the people who started watching you from Frenemies, who are like naive little girls, were like, oh cool, Trisha's dope, and then you do this kind of shit, and those people don't like you now. So, like, H3's cult, they don't care about you. The people who are left who care about you just think that you're a vile person, and we are obsessed with how fucked up you are. I don't think Ethan, like, wants anything to do with you. Like, why would anyone want to do it? Look at you! You look like trash right now. No offense. Like, you're acting like trash. You look fucked up. Why would anyone be like, oh, like, what is, like, what, like, Trisha's on my brain? Like, it's because of your actions. You're on people's brains because of who you are and how you act. I'm sorry. It's just true.
I've never felt this because they don't care about the truth. They don't want to believe anything that we say. They don't care. They literally don't care. They just want. It's just crazy. They said it's too little, too late. I said it's not. I'm calling it truth. I'm asking for it to stop. Fucking stop. All of this starts from their age.
Oops.
Subreddit. They can control and monitor.
Okay, so this is actually absolutely wrong. Like this. Wow. I don't know why Trisha does this weird deflection thing that I think is a defense mechanism, to be honest. I actually don't think her brain allows her to realize that she has self-sabotaged at this point. Because she's saying that it's H3. Like, they don't care about you. It's not the H3 subreddit, you fucking idiot. Like, H3 subreddit is boring. She wants them to talk about her. It's the frenemies subreddit, you dumb bitch. And the frenemy subreddit was started by her fan. The frenemy subreddit was started by Trishy's Fishy Mom. Let's go to the frenemy subreddit, okay? Because that's where all the tea's happening, not H3. And the frenemy fucking subreddit is now restricted because the mod is a fishy. So this is the person who runs this Reddit. It's called Fishy's Mod. And this is like speculating or worse, stating as fact that Trisha lied about miscarriage or being raped is not criticism. Frankly, it's not human. So I get that. And I understand, like, let's not speculate on, you know, her childhood or her, you know, her talking about being, but like, it's not the H3 subreddit, okay? And it's just like, I don't know why she's trying to say that they keep talking about her. They made fun of her once. Like, they make fun of her still sometimes. They don't talk about her personal relationship. They don't talk about her as a person. They talk about, like, the dumb videos she makes in response to H3. Okay? That's just, like, so her trying to, like, pin all this on H3, it's frankly pathetic. It's really, like, she's really trying to, like, get their attention because it's like they don't care. And they're going to continue to ignore her. Like, really, this is like, H3 is not a stupid guy. He's not, in fact, he's kind of a douchebag. And now he sees this, like, girl begging for attention, begging for acknowledgement from them, pretty much saying, please help take the blame off me. Please do me a solid and keep this, like, arbitrary beef between us going so people could stop focusing on, you know, Moses being called a rapist. Like, first of all, it started at the H3 subreddit. It was his actual ex-girlfriend. That's not, you know, like, where else is she going to post that? Where else is she going to come with, when is she going to come, like, where could she come forth with her truth? It can't be on your message board. Like, stop, Trisha. You've been on the internet for the last, like, decade or more. You've been on the internet longer than a decade. Why are you fucking acting as if you don't know how this works? How you don't know how echo chambers of the internet work? How, you know, exposing people on the internet work? Stop this. You're choosing to be with a fiance who's frankly disgusting, who frankly likes to fuck fans. Not even his fans, fans of his fucking sister and his brother-in-law. And he's trying to be like, hey, I'm related to them. Let me tell you the insider info on H3 so I could get you to be attracted to me. Like, hey, Trisha, maybe you should pick a better partner that doesn't have all this fucking baggage. Maybe you should work on yourself so you could attract a higher value man who doesn't have a shit ton of, like, 20-year-old exes who are hurt by him coming forward saying that he stealthed them. You think they're lying? Trisha, do you think they're lying? Like, you know, how, like, do you think they're lying? Do you think they're lying about the text where Moses literally told them that you looked like, you know, that you look like Miss Piggy, which she's cute, so whatever, that's not even, but like, that your pussy smells, whatever, fine. You're choosing, like, that is all personal stuff. That is all stuff where, yeah, objectively, we could be like, that's pathetic that you're with someone who would say that about you, but whatever. But now it's like his exes saying, he stealthed me. And you weren't there, Trisha. Moses had a whole ass life before you. He probably has a whole ass life right now that you don't know about. And that's probably fucking with you. It's like, I'm sorry that the reality hurts, but you asked for it. You asked to have people dig dirt up on your man, on you, all of that. So lean into it, bitch. Stop with this. You're now the supervillain. You turned heel. You're a heel now. Okay, that's just what you're gonna have to be, and you just might as well own up to it. You might as well take the Keemstar out and be like unapologetically a terrible person, because it's like at this point, these theatrics, you still trying to blame fucking Ethan and Hila, who are still your family, apparently. Like, stop. Fucking pathetic.
They're posting some about my.
Oh my god, I can't. Like, why? Look. Also, why? Like, why is she literally blubbering like a beluga whale? She's not even making coherent. She's making noises. She's very nonverbal right now. Why is she recording herself like? It's like womp womp. Like, stop. Like, it's like we don't feel bad for your tears, so you might as well say something poignant and like well thought out. Like, maybe it's time you write a Word document, really flesh out your feelings, and show that to the viewers. Show that you're actually capable of, like, processing this information like an adult. Because this is, like, you freaking out in the camera, not saying anything coherent, is frankly not fun to watch. It's not fun watching this breakdown, because it's like, we're over it. We're over you. There's, like, we already have a feeling towards you that's not going to change. And it's definitely not going to change with this pathetic excuse of, like, getting sympathy.
Stop, please. Stop. I can't breathe.
I can't breathe. And she also made, like, a bunch of... Okay. More? How many more? Okay, 2 more.
Saying shame on you both. I was fucking molested, and everyone is reminding me of that person's name and telling me to apologize. Oh my god, this person. Oh my god, just falsely, so falsely accused, and he's saying shame. Shame on what? Is it believe all victims or believe all victims except for Trish? Like, make up your fucking mind. Oh my god, I'm so inside myself. How no one can have compassion.
That's actually such a weird triangulation. She's like, so with Moses' victims, we're blindly believing them, but with her, we don't because it's Trish. So, like, okay, why are you triangulating your boyfriend being a potential rapist and your teacher who molested you? And by the way, like I said in the beginning of this video, look, I'm really not going to comment on the teacher thing. I think it's disturbing and disgusting that, you know, we're exploiting that aspect of the story for our entertainment. Because it is for our entertainment. Let's just be fucking real. We don't know this person. She's not our sister. She's not our mom. She's not our best friend. Like, she's someone that we have a parasocial relationship with. We don't know her personal life. And we don't know to what extent we don't know where her lies end and where the truth begins. And I think that's one of the biggest problems with her and a lot of other people who lie a lot. And I can say this from experience. I've lied about things in my life pathologically because I wanted attention, because I didn't think the real story was as exciting. So I would make stuff up for entertainment, you know, and there's a point where just really elaborate lies that aren't meant to hurt anyone actually end up hurting everyone because that person no longer trusts you. They don't trust your identity. Like, I was best friends with a girl through all of high school who literally lied about where she was born, you know, her nationality. Like, she lied about her whole life. And, like, that never hurt me directly because she never did anything with those lies that actually, like, fucked with me. But, like, when I found that out, because I found out from her own fathers who sent me a long Facebook message that she had been lying about everything she told me and that she's not well. And, like, I was just completely mind-fucked because she even admitted it to me after that she was lying because she was exposed. And it's like I just couldn't trust her anymore because even though she wasn't lying about anything that directly involved me, just, like, how could I trust someone who would lie about who they are to that extent? And with Trisha, it's like she lies about so many things, and she's definitely made up a shit ton of stories. And, you know, you could tell, but it's like with this teacher molesting her when she was a kid, like, look, that stuff is just really hard to talk about, and it needs to be discussed with a lot of fragility and, you know, like a lot of sensitivity. It's like we can't just lump that with all the other drama she's in, because this is something that's a lot more personal. It's a lot more like triggering, not only just, but just for anyone. And like, if this man really did molest her, I could see why she'd be having a mental breakdown because of everyone, you know. It's like a bad movie. It's like everyone's like pretty much, you know, telling someone who was abused as a kid to apologize to the family of this man. To apologize to the family of this man for having had such a shitty person in their family. But like, we don't know what's the truth in that regard, and I don't think it's right to speculate on that. But I just think it's weird that she has so much. It's funny because Trisha, it's like you have so much sympathy for yourself. You have so much, like, you know, reverence and, like, yeah, it's like you want people to hold you to the standard that they're holding Moses' victims. So why are you with a man that you're trying to triangulate his victims with you? That's fucking absurd. Like, I know she's having a mental breakdown and she's not, like, being smart, but, like, why the fuck are you lumping yourself in with these women who accuse of your fiance of, like, stealthing them and fucking with them and still trying to use that as a way? And then they're like, oh, he's losing work. Okay, he's losing work because he's being accused of being a rapist. And now you're like just completely in shock. You're up in arms. And it's like, well, do you know he didn't? You don't. Because that's the fucking problem. You could see someone one way, and you will not fucking know unless there is undisputable evidence of something like that having had happened. With stealthing, there's no way to prove it. With her teacher possibly having molested her as a kid, like, there's no way to prove it, and that's probably why she said to look up the child porn thing, because it's like she thought maybe if she had something to back it up, even if it was fake and slanderous, but like people believe that that's what happened, then it would make her story sound true, because maybe it was true and she just didn't, you know, I don't know. I mean, it's really fucked up. It's like, Trisha, we are literally coming for you because you told people on Frenemies to look up this man's name. And when they did, the first thing that comes up is a story about a teacher molesting a student, but it's not the same man and it's not even the same state. So she knew that that would be the first search result. Maybe she made that the first search result. Maybe she made that happen with Google because she wanted to manipulate people into believing her, but that doesn't mean it wasn't true. And it's about a 6-year-old, like, let's not. You know what I mean?
No one, and it's just for a random human being, another random human being, for someone that they're in a family and they know. Oh my god, where's the fucking compassion? I fucking stop!
Oh my gosh, she needs to go to therapy. Like, right now. She needs a trusted adult.
Shit. I have done so much shit, but no one deserves this. If someone asks you to stop talking, just stop talking. They won't stop. And it's not because they believe in whatever. It's literally just because they have a hatred. I'm getting it from Eli, and he's like, this is a private chat. I tried to call him. I said, record the call. I just wanting him to know the fucking distress that I'm in. And you know what they're going to do? They'll make a whole video about this, put their ads in and their sponsors. For what? What is this for? I don't care if you don't even know who the fuck I am, if they didn't know me at all. I am begging for it to end. This is too fucking much. All of it getting brought up again and just Moses' ex is getting doxxed. His immigration, that's everything.
Wait, hold up. This is so funny. She's like, Moses' ex is getting docked? Are you talking about the exes that came against him on their own volition, or are you talking about his ex-wives that he seemed to lie to the girls who are coming out against you about? Because he also lied. I don't know if he told Trisha about his ex-wives. It's really none of our business, but he apparently didn't tell the girls that he was seeing about his ex-wives. And, like, sometimes we're like, well, dude, does someone that you're just sleeping with casually need to know about your marital history? But, like, I don't know. I think it's, like, you know, if you're lying about stuff like that, or, I don't know. Look. Well, they asked him if he had one. They asked him if he had ex-wives, and he straight up told them no. So that's not like him just not telling them, it's him lying to them. So they're obviously like, what else did he lie about? You know, they fucked him without a if he fucked them without a condom and he's lying about shit, like, that could easily, like, he could easily be, like, giving them STDs, or, like, you know, that's, like, really fucked up shit to lie about. Like, if someone's a liar and sees no problem just, like, telling their sexual partners, like, things that aren't true, that's dangerous. And also, so here's the thing with Trisha. She's, like, begging Ethan to not talk about her. She's kind of, like, pleading to Ethan. But at this point, this is past Ethan. You know what I mean? Like, I think this is a problem. It's like, does she really think that this is all because of Ethan? And if he just stopped, it's like, no, Trisha, like, maybe that's how it started. And that was the catalyst of this new, like, wave of intense, like, hatred for you. And by the way, I don't hate Trisha. Like, I don't really even know. Like, I don't like her. I think she's obnoxious. Like, I think, like, if she were my friend, I would have cut her out of my life and been like, I hope she gets the help she deserves. Like, I think she's very unwell, and you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that she is, actually, I don't know. She is kind of calculating. I don't know, that's the fucked up thing about her. It's like, it's really hard to pinpoint whether she's, like, a terrible human being or just a fucking idiot who's, like, easily manipulated by the wrong people, and maybe that's part of it. Like, something tells me that also a lot of it is, like, she's just easily influenced by people that she's, like, romanticized in her head. So maybe if she was actually always with, like, an amazing person, who honestly, an amazing person wouldn't, like, I don't think an amazing person who wasn't a therapist would take her on socially, would take her on romantically, because it's like, good people don't, like, they don't surround themselves with bad people. So it's like birds of a feather flock together. So it's like, you know, it's like Trisha doesn't really want to take accountability for the fact that this is all her own doing. And, like, I'm saying, like, maybe if she had, like, a really good role model in her life, and maybe that doesn't mean a fucking romantic partner. I don't think it means a romantic partner. I think romantic relationships are something that you should be in when you are doing well. Like, when you've already really, and that's not, like, a lot of people get into romantic relationships and they're a shit show, and that's why so many relationships are a shit show, and there's a lot of deceit and lying and fighting and a lot of, like, cognitive dissonance. But if you are, like, mentally stable and you're working on yourself and you are good with yourself, then you find a partner who matches that energy and it works. But, you know, a lot of people they don't have the help they deserve, they don't have the mental help they need, and they still get into relationships, and they get messy. Especially when you're an online public figure and people, like, have polarized feelings about you. Now, if H3 responds to her in a very callous way, if he's just gonna be, like, petty, then he's an asshole. You know what I mean? Like, at this point, on a personal level, I think Ethan, I don't know what he needs to do. I don't think Ethan's a great person, honestly. Like, I think he's just a person, and we're all just humans, and Ethan's not perfect, you know? Like, she is assigning him to this role that maybe he doesn't even feel like he should be taking. Like, maybe he's like, why are you talking about me so much, Trisha? Like, all I do is just, like, make fun of you sometimes. Like, whatever. Get over that. But she thinks that he's truly, like, inciting hate against her. She's like, please get your fans to stop. Like, Trisha, Ethan isn't an actual omnipotent. He can't get people to stop feeling a certain way. And he's not going to just say, hey, I love Trisha. She's a great person. Please stop bullying her, because that's not how he feels. He's allowed to dislike you, and if people dislike you because he dislikes you, that's fine. That's just how it is. You know, do you really want the approval of people who are just going to dislike you because a guy tells them to? No, we watched you, Trisha. Why are you infantilizing us to this extent where you think we can't make our own, logical opinion, that we can't form our own opinions on you? No, we don't feel this way about you because a guy told us to. We feel this way about you because you're shitty. You act shitty. You contradict yourself too much. You lie about everything. You are a hypocrite. It's just sometimes you're like, what did she do that's so wrong? And it's to be honest, she didn't do anything that's she's just done so much. It's who you are. It's who she is. That's kind of where the polarizing opinions come from. Are we entertained by her? Do we like her? Do we just hate watch her? It's it's a roller coaster of emotions for us too, bitch. But if this is just what you're gonna be from now on, if you're just gonna be Onision, and you're just gonna be all horrible, it's boring, and you're gonna fade into irrelevance, and I don't really know what to say, but it's just this is a BPD breakdown. She's not able to emotionally regulate this hate. And that's literally what DBT is for. DBT is not for, you to be delusional and to lie and, tell yourself that everything's great when it's not. It's about really confronting the hard shit head on and growing from it and regulating your emotions and your behaviors from those, impulsive emotions. Trisha's the kind of person, and, I am too, you get mad, and the first thing you want to do is punch a wall, bash your head against a wall, punch someone else. It's, really hard to contain the anger. It's, a lot of it has to do with, anger management, too. Or, not having mental breakdowns because it's, your thoughts spiral. And a lot of it is, a lot of this isn't just her thoughts spiraling. It's, actual things happening. So she's not learning how to deal with that, calmly. She could have honestly just made a calm video and been you know what, guys? Look, this is a really hard video to make, and I'm trying, I know this sounds like all the other videos I've made, which is a shame because that's who I am. That's what my career has been, so take this as you will. But I understand that maybe I've put information out there that has made people see me in a certain light. But my past is none of your business, and I'm feeling very triggered right now by people trying to defend my abuser, by people making claims about my fiance when they don't know us. And let me just tell you this, guys, I can't, I'm just going to continue posting my content that I want to put out. And if the only reason you guys follow me is for the drama, then too bad, because I'm done, I'm done divulging my truths to be exploited for your entertainment. That's not what I signed up for. And I don't think that's what she signed up for. I think she signed up for being controversial, but having a fan base that sticks by her, and that's what, but now it's just everyone fucking hates her. They're accusing her of shit. It's no longer Trisha's messy. We love a messy queen. It's oh no, Trisha's a bad person. And that probably fucks with her. And I think she should have honestly just made a fucking coherent, well thought out, presentable video and then keep it moving. And that's her life right now. These TikToks or whatever, these tweets, all it's doing is showing us that she is still that she's not going to change. And that's, I feel the death, I feel a small death has just happened. You know what I mean? She's no longer someone I find entertaining. She frustrates me, but it's I think I can no longer hope to feel the parasocial relationship I had with her before, which is kind of annoying because it's oh, she was someone I watched for entertainment, and now I just kind of don't even feel bothering. So that's that. I really just think that's all I have to say about that. There's nothing really, I think that's really the end of it. Should we back off? Maybe. You know what I mean? I don't know. She needs help, though.